That is our budget for 2015-2016. Beginning balance is $772,000. I won't read all that off to you, but expected revenue of $19.1 million. We do expect that revenue to be a little bit higher than that. Our assessment has gone up a little bit this year, and our student growth seems to be holding a little higher this year than it has the past few years. Salary fund expense of $9.1 million. Our debt service has gone up a substantial amount, about $250,000. That's due to phase one of the high school coming in. We show an ending balance of $772,395 because we have to have an increase in our balance so we don't get in trouble for having a declining balance. But our ending balance will actually be higher than that with our growth and assessment and after our student growth money is put in. Our current millage rate is at 42.6 mills. We have been rolled back 1.3 mills since 2007. 43.9 mills was our highest millage that has been voted into this district, and we'll talk about the millage a little bit more as we move on. Federal funds, Title I funds, we received $363,778. Title II, $50,123. You can see the allocations there going to the district and going to the 2 elementary schools and to the 3 elementary schools actually. And all of the Title II allocations, the $50,123, are allocated for special ed salaries this year. We do receive $12,000 in soft drink revenue from Coca-Cola. That money goes back into our extracurricular activities. It goes back into athletics. And $3,000 is also provided by Coca-Cola as a scholarship for seniors. District-wide this year, our free and reduced lunch rate is 40%. Our district graduation rate, the last time that the ADE calculated it, was 13-14. They haven't got the 14-15 numbers out yet. That was 97.5. Last year we had the unique opportunity based on our benchmark scores that every one of our buildings received reward money based on their benchmark scores. You can see the breakdown from $16,000 at Ledbetter up to $34,000 at Pop Williams. That money is based on the enrollment of the students that had taken the examinations. When we went back and looked at that, of our 5 buildings, lots of schools get some money. There were only 11 schools in the state that every building they had actually received money. So that was a great accomplishment for us, that every building that we had received money from the benchmark reward program. As we know, testing has changed. We went from the benchmark and end of course tests last year, or year before last, to the PARCC tests last year, and then on July 9th, the Arkansas State Board of Education voted to enter into a contract with ACT and the ACT Aspire. This will be our new test for 3rd grade through 10th grade. This testing window will begin April the 11th. This is an online test. You can see the students will be assessed in math, science, reading, writing, and English. It is a new time for us. We traveled for many years with benchmark and end of course examinations, and those changed last year. We received the PARCC. We've received some PARCC information, a very limited amount at this point. Obviously, every time we change tests, it makes it hard to do comparison data, because there's nothing to pull back on to see whether we've had growth and how we've done. We will be starting over again with the ACT. One interesting point to this is all the 11th graders this year will take the ACT test. There is an opportunity for the parents to opt out. We don't figure we'll have many that will do that. That will be provided by the state, and it will give our students an opportunity to take the ACT test in preparation for moving on to college. Okay? And that assessment will be administered on March the 1st. Students in kindergarten through 3rd grade will take the Iowa assessment in April like they have in the previous years. And we have not received PARCC scores for all students. We have received a limited number of PARCC scores, so I'll share that data with you. The preliminary numbers show that we have scored a level 3 in geometry, algebra 1, and grade 9 and 10 English language arts. Level 3 is approaching college ready, college and career ready. We really want to have 4s if possible. We did score in the level 4, as you can see there, in grade 11 English language. Algebra 2, we scored at a level 2. That's a little deceiving because the Algebra 2 test was optional, and many schools chose not to take that test because it would be hard and they knew that the scores would not be good. We chose to go ahead and take that test, and it's hard to use that data for much. That's the first year we've had the PARCC. There's no comparison to look back and say, did we improve? How have we done? I know that in talking to our some of our neighboring schools, we've fallen just about in the middle of the schools that I've talked to in comparison data with the other districts. In certain categories, you can find certain schools that have scored a little better, and then in the same schools in other categories, you can find where they have scored a little bit lower. That's the bad part for us about changing the test, is it makes it hard to really tell how we've done until we have a few years of data. We do have some data in the Iowa test. We've taken the Iowa test for many years. You can see those results. First grade, we were 7th in the region in reading, 8th in the math. That's in the region. This is without a doubt the toughest region in the state. We're very happy with those results. Second grade, we were 4th in the region in reading, 5th in the region in math, 5th and 7th grade science. In 5th grade, we were 2nd in the region. In 7th grade, we were 4th. High school biology placed 4th in the region on the end-of-course biology assessments. So we were very, very happy with those. To be in the top of this region always means you're in the top of the state. About 4 or 5 years ago, we took a hard look at our AP courses and what we were doing with our AP program and how we could improve our AP program. And over the last couple of years, we have really begun to implement that. That was one of our goals that we set a couple of years ago, district-wide, was to improve our AP program. I'm proud to say that we had 296 AP exams given last year. 172 students took an AP exam. We offered 12 AP, or are offering 12 AP classes. That's 2 more classes than we offered last year. 65 students received a passing score, and that is in most cases a 3 or higher. In a couple of courses it is a 4 and higher. And there was $11,300 of incentive money was awarded to our students from the district based on their test scores. On the ACT, we scored a 21.6. You can see some comparison data there. That is about where we have been the last couple of years. Prairie Grove came in at a 20.3, Siloam a 21.5. I picked those 2 schools just because they're close to us, and one of them's a little bit smaller and the other one's a little bit larger. The state average was 20.4 on the ACT. The ACT was given mostly in the past to students who were planning on going to college. Now that the ACT is going to be offered to more 11th grade students, it will be, it could change the data a little bit for us in the future, but it will for every school in Arkansas. So, okay. One of the other goals that we set 3 years ago was to address our base teacher salary. We have raised our base teacher salary up this year to $40,200. In 5A classification, we kind of do a lot of comparisons based on our conference that our sports teams are in. But in 5A, that puts us 2nd in the state in base teacher salary. It puts us 11th in the state overall. When you look at some of the tax bases that some of the people who are higher than that have to pull from, with lots of industry and lots of businesses, I think that's something, a great accomplishment that the district has performed, to have a salary schedule that is that high and that competitive with a lack of businesses and commercial taxes coming in. We have 179 current certified staff, 288 total employees, and 100% of our teachers are highly qualified. There's our current enrollment breakdown as of last Thursday. That's a very fluid number that moves around quite a bit at times. It has trended to pretty flat the last little bit, which is good. The last few years we've hit our high mark in October and kind of dwindled off towards the end of the year. 2,378 students puts us up, depending on the day and the time, puts us up about 75 students from where we were last year. 390 students at Williams, 332 at Folsom, 354 at Ledbetter, 583 at the middle school, 188 at the 9th grade academy, and 531 in the high school. That number, our enrollment number, has been fairly flat the last 2 or 3 years. So those 70-something students that the growth money will be based off of will certainly help the district at the end of the year in additional revenue. I put that picture in. I used that picture on the left last year as we were talking about construction. That is the new gymnasium. We did the report to the public on November 14th last year, and about that time, that is what the gymnasium looked like. And then I went back out and got some sunspots in it, but the picture on the right is the gymnasium as of Monday. That project is complete. I will say there are still some warranty items that are being worked through. I mean, you can drive by and you can see that some of the trees in the front have not survived the summer, and those are warranty items. Those will be replaced. There is a problem with an air conditioner in the sound room that we are addressing, but Phase 1 of the high school, for all practical purposes now, is complete. That is the stage on Friday. I just threw that in, just you know, a random shot. The PAC, the Performing Arts Center, is receiving more interest than I ever envisioned we would have out there. I really thought that the hard part of the PAC was going to be building the building. The hard part of the PAC is trying to determine who's going to use it and when, because everyone's wanting in there. We have an assembly there tonight, have 2 tomorrow, and there are great things going on there. People have been very complimentary of that facility, and I will say the downside to that is we had a performance in there the other night, and we didn't have enough seats. If we let our students sit in the seating area, we were already hurting for seats. So that's something we'll have to learn and adjust, that we'll have to keep the students off to the side or in the back wings so we have plenty of seats for the adults. But it is a great facility. There is a Veterans Day assembly tomorrow at 9:45. That is a wonderful thing that our high school puts on. Middle school band is having a concert out there tomorrow night for Veterans Day. If you get an opportunity, it'll do your heart good to see our students up there and the performances they put on. As we talk about moving through the first phase of the construction, we now have to get into talking about the second and third phase of the construction. You can see from that diagram the light gray area that is on top is the current gym and PAC. This area is the new phase 2 of the high school. This is not finalized yet, but it's close. This is about close to 80,000 square feet. This is going to end up somewhere around 95,000 square feet. Just for a point of reference, there's Highway 170. We are, as we speak, starting to put in this parking lot here to the north for activities. Parking is at a premium out there, and our maintenance staff is starting to put that in as we speak. And then as you look on to the back, we have another parking area that's going to come in here. We have football field, soccer field, track that's coming in here, bleachers, concession, press box, dressing room, locker rooms, a grass practice area. And as you begin to look at all that, our 45 acres is filling up quickly. So I'm grateful that we have that land, but we are certainly going to use it. Overview of Phase 2. We have a construction meeting on Thursday. We will have the 30% plans by this week. That is the first set of plans that we send off to Little Rock and that we send to the city to be reviewed. So that is an important hurdle. We're going to finish those up on Thursday. There is around 95,000 square feet. There are 36 classrooms or teaching areas. There is a larger cafeteria. The cafeteria is about 1.5 times what we currently have. Office spaces and counseling spaces, everything we need for academics at the high school. One of the things that was discussed, that was taken out by the Department of Facilities, was the Agri facility. We are able to put the Agri facility back in. It is part of the plan. And after we meet this week at the November board meeting, Mark Haywood will be presenting the 30% plans to you, and you'll actually get to see the floor plan and get an idea for the look of the building. I got this today, and I was so excited by it. This is the first time I've actually seen this. Obviously, this is the gymnasium that is currently up, and then this is the walkway into the gymnasium. And from here over is all the new high school. As you come in the main entrance of the high school, this will be office spaces and then cafeteria spaces back in behind it. A wing of classrooms coming out this way, a wing of classrooms coming out the back. It is 2-story in here. It is not 2-story in the middle section. The classrooms are the standard classrooms that we normally build, except for we are building a business lab for business and marketing classes. We are building an audio-visual broadcast production classroom, and we are building a health clinic classroom, because as we move more into academies and talk about that in the next few minutes, we are trying to match a brand new quality teaching facility up with the needs and interests of our students. I thought that was a great picture, though. We are a school choice participant. All of our facilities are at capacity. Matter of fact, when I say at capacity, I mean we are at many of them at 99% capacity. College and career academies are continuing to be implemented at the high school. In talking about where we're going, you know, we talked about the desire to get Phase 1 built. We talked about the desire to get the salary schedule to $40,000. Some of our goals we are beginning to kind of mark off, and I look at goals, and I've told the principals this kind of like climbing a ladder. Well, we have cleared some of those rungs, and so I asked our principals to send me some information than they've had in the past, which we think will help them function better during the day and have better opportunities to learn. Building the responsive classroom management model and increasing STEM opportunities for students. The STEM opportunities for students is something we have talked about for 2 or 3 cycles now of this report to the public. We want to increase opportunities for science, technology, engineering, and math in our younger students. And so that's very exciting. Okay. Lynch Middle School has made some tremendous changes. I don't mean that like things needed to change, but they have expanded some opportunities for their students. We have an opportunity now to offer some online classes that we've never been able to offer before. You can see they're now offering 5 new foreign languages in the middle school: web design, image design, environmental recreation, introduction to art, introduction to agriculture, learning lab. We're able to expose more students to more opportunities at Lynch than we ever have before, and that's exciting for the students. It's exciting for us to be able to do that, and we were able to receive some grant money to help us with that. We certainly hope that we can find some more grant money or something to help keep those opportunities open, but that has been a great success for us. Probably the key, well, maybe not the key, but an important step in moving into the academy concept at the high school is to get the students started right in the 9th grade, which is really the main idea for the Freshman Academy. The Freshman Academy is another goal that we had 2 or 3 years ago that now is well in place, and the idea behind the Freshman Academy is if we can get our students started in 9th grade and let them have some success, they have a much better chance of graduating. Now, our students are graduating in a 97% clip, so that is successful. But now what we hope to expand the Freshman Academy into is to help us work with students to help them make career choices. And I say that carefully, because do I think most 9th graders know what they want to do when they grow up? No, I don't think they do. But I do think they have a general idea of areas of interest. And what we want to do, rather than help them what there is going to be their chosen career path, is really to expose them. And we would rather have a student get in the Freshman Academy, move on into the academies in the high school, and say, you know, I don't know I want to be an accountant, and start over in the 11th grade, than have a student that makes it all the way through, goes to the University of Arkansas, and pays 2 years of college, and then says, I'm not sure that's what I want to do. Because in a lot of cases, those students are going to college on student loans, and they are acquiring a greater amount of debt than even some of them can handle with their chosen profession. So we want to expose them to different career opportunities and let them make a decision, let their parents make a decision, expose the parents to that. And the Freshman Academy has been very successful in that. I get probably more positive comments on the Freshman Academy than just about anything we do. We are a conversion charter. We are moving into the academy process more and more each year. I know some of our board members actually went down with us during that time to help us get this process started. One of the things we're trying to do in the academy is the first bullet you see there. We're establishing a mentoring program. That is in place now. Mr. Williams has kind of headed that up for us at the high school. We have business leaders that are coming in and meeting with our students, and they're meeting with students that have an interest in what they are talking about. And this has been a wonderful thing for, I think our teachers, our staff has a lot of credibility as teachers. I don't know that sometimes our students see us the same way when we talk about being a business leader as they do a person that's out on the job that is a business leader. And so to bring those people in, it has been a wonderful positive step for us. It's I guess you would say in its infancy. It's just got started. We have had very good support from our business leaders. We always need more support and more people because we have a diverse student population that has diverse needs. And so we would love to have more diverse business population. The high school did receive $463,000 as an incentive for this program. We are buying equipment for that. A lot of the equipment, some of the equipment has already been bought for our audiovisual broadcast department that we're going to put in the new high school. I would venture to say just about all the equipment and what I'm talking on and what's videotaping us today has been purchased with that, and this will create opportunities for our kids that we've not had. Okay? Our school board for this year is Jeff Oxford's our president, Travis Warren vice president, Amy Hill's secretary, Wade Cash and Doug Williams are our other two members. We do have two first-year members. Those two first-year members are required to get 9 hours of staff development between now and December 31st of next year. Every other school board member must have 6 hours every calendar year. A couple other things before I move on to that I kind of want to share. I get hesitant about sharing too much because I'm always afraid I'm going to leave somebody out. But I do want to point out a couple things about our high school, because without a doubt there has been more change at the high school over the last couple of years than there has anywhere. In some cases, what our teachers had done for 20 or 25 years has completely changed, and that's been done without, as far as I know, even a whimper. They have done it because they thought it was the best thing to do for students. It's been extremely successful. But a couple of things I want to point out that have happened this year. We had our highest AP biology scores in school history. We had our highest AP calculus scores in school history. We had our highest AP psychology scores in school history. Our test scores, you know, AP tests are hard. They're supposed to be hard. But our test scores went up 5% this year to almost 36%, which you say 36% is not very good, but 36% is actually very good. We're very happy with those scores. And we have done that with the philosophy of every kid that wants to take an AP class, we encourage them to take it. Even if we know there is a possibility they might struggle on the examination. Some schools don't do that. Some high schools kind of talk to students about not taking AP classes because it could hurt their test scores. But we've not done that at the high school. They've not done that at the high school. And I think that's a great accomplishment, that not only have our scores gone up, but our total number of students that have taken tests have also gone up. In 2010, we had 4 AP scholars, 1 with honors. And I'm not going to read all these off to you, but in 2012, we had 8 AP scholars, 1 with honors. In 2014, we had 14 AP scholars, 2 with honors. And 1 with distinction. In 2015, we had 21 scholars, 3 with honors. So those numbers have steadily moved up in our AP program. Some of the changes that took place at the high school started because of the AP program. Our desire to increase how that program was functioning. And from that point, we have looked at what affects more students in a greater fashion, which is why we begin to look at academies. In 2015-16, this current year, the high school is starting the teaching and training pathway, starting the human body systems class, establish community business volunteers we talked about, launch career mentor groups, prep for official unveil of academies, and started to work with the freshmen to discuss the academies they would be exposed to. Those things are in place now. As we move to next year, the goals for this is to unveil the 3 academy system, classify 10th through 12th grade students into each academy, start the TV production pathway, start medical interventions class, launch a nursing law enforcement class, explore internships, and continue to cultivate the mentor groups. In 2017 and 18, we will move into the new high school. We will then be able to highlight the 3 career labs that I talked about. We will be able to launch the academy projects. We're going to look at even more pathways to expand the opportunity for students, and we are going to at that point look at internships as an opportunity to provide some of our seniors to go out into an area of interest and actually, rather than us tell them what the jobs are like and what's out there and what their area of interest are, actually let them go out and experience that firsthand. So we're very excited about that. We've stood up here for years and talked about our wonderful test scores we've had in the elementary schools. Those continue to be true. We've got 3 award-winning elementary schools. We have an award-winning middle school, and we've had an award-winning high school. But I did want to share some of the things because I know that some of you all, we've talked about these academies, we've talked about the new high school coming on board for a long time, and I wanted to share some of the information as to what has actually taken place at the high school. That is all that I have. I would take any questions anybody has. Or if not, I would say thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.